Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs of all ages, good morning. Oh my God, how is it Thursday already? This is Small Business Mornings. We are on the air. I'm your host, Pat Miller, the Idea Coach. This is our way that we can live out the mission. Don't grow it alone. It's a daily show exclusively for small business founders and owners. And if you're not one of them, look away. Look away. This is not for you. But if you are a small business owner, what's up? You look fabulous this morning. So weigh into the comments and let us know that you are with us. And if you want to be a superhero of the show, like it and click that magical share button so more people can know that we're doing a show just for you every single day. On today's show, I've got news, but I've added a filter for your protection because some of the news this morning is rather depressing. So I had the option of not talking about it. So guess what? I'm not, because boring and sad. And I don't want to do boring and sad. I want to be inspirational and have some fun. And I get to make that decision. So boom, decision made, and I'm ruling with an iron fist. So I do have good stuff in the news, though. I've got a story of perseverance that we're going to share. There's a new biography coming out from someone you've heard of, and it is long, crazy long. Plus, I have a meme of the day that I found very provocative and inspirational, and I'll give you a little preview. The meme of the day says you should throw your personal brand in the trash. Clutch pearls. What? Throw my personal brand? Yes, and replace it for something better. Plus, we'll check in on your do the freaking thing from yesterday, and the question of the day, another fun one. What's something you're just convinced that people are pretending to enjoy? There's no way they actually enjoy that thing. We'll talk about that in the question of the day coming up on the show. One last thing to go before we get to the news. Tonight, the networking mashup is happening. We are getting together in downtown Milwaukee, and we would love to see you there. It's going to be a great event where we're bringing together several different networks all at once. So if you'd like to come, put on real pants, say hello, and meet some people, we'd love to see you tonight at the networking mashup. We will make sure that we share this link a couple of times throughout the show. Good morning, Teresa. You look fabulous today. Okay, so let's start with the news. Again, filtered for your pleasure, because there is some really sad stuff out there. And this is no joking around. This is really sad. A presidential candidate was assassinated in Ecuador. Awful. Maui, the most beautiful place on the planet that people say, I've never been there, but they tell me it's the most beautiful place on the planet. Wildfires burning everywhere. Terrifying and awful. Paul, good morning. Teresa, good morning. The consumer price index, inflation is up. It's up to 3.2%, and those analysts got it wrong again. It was less than expected, so keep trying, analysts. But inflation is up. And Cadillac has announced a new electric car, which is super exciting, but it's going to be $130,000. Womp womp. So those are all the news stories I'm not going to talk about, but they're in the news, and you should know that they're happening, yet they're all kind of sad. But let's talk about the inspiring stories. I've got a sports story that I'm going to share that's all about not stopping. Not stopping. When you get down, and our endurance coach is here with us this morning, when you get down and you're having a hard day and you think, this is so stupid. Why am I doing this? I should just quit. You ever had those days where you're like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. This is never going to work. You've had those days before as a small business owner? Raise your hand. Yes. Well, Weston Wilson is your spirit animal. Weston Wilson. You don't know Weston Wilson. I don't know Weston. Nobody knows Weston. Nobody knows Weston because he's a minor league baseball player for the Philadelphia Phillies organization. And nobody knows minor league baseball players. Weston is 28. And by minor league baseball years, he might as well be 94. Like 28 is really old. If you haven't made it to the majors by the time you're 28, you're probably not going to make it. But Weston kept playing. He played over 700 games for the Phillies in the minor leagues. Yesterday, he was called up to the bigs for the first time ever. So he played for years and years and years in the minor leagues, 28 years old, called up to the major leagues, and you know what happened, right? You know what happened. I'm not pretending that you know what happened, but you can guess what happened. First at bat, home run. Isn't that the greatest thing? Doesn't that just give you goosebumps all over the place? Isn't that awesome? Like, you knew where that story was going to go, but it's still pretty incredible. Super inspiring. So, Weston, good on you, buddy. Congratulations on fighting through the mess and getting up to the major leagues and then having something great happen. So that's kind of inspirational. If you're just joining us, this is Small Business Mornings, a show exclusively for entrepreneurs every single day, 9 a.m. Central. Glad that you're here. We're going through the news and we have more inspiration to share with you. More inspiration. Barbra Streisand is releasing a biography. And the biography is called My Name is Barbara. I mean, it's a story about her and it even has her name in the title. Like, that's poetic. It's amazing. My Name is Barbara biography. It's coming out November 7th. And the reason why it's making news is that people have been waiting for this biography to come out. Good morning, Susie. And the reason why it's making news is because it's 1,000 pages long. 1,000 pages long. Like, that's awesome. It's impressive. Because if you think about Barbra Streisand, she's been famous her whole life. And think of all the stories that she has to fill 1,000 pages. So my question is, what about you? Will you have a biography someday? What are you doing today that is biography worthy? What are you doing today that would add to your legend? I'll give you a hint. It involves taking a risk, doing the thing, trying something new, getting uncomfortable, dreaming big, standing out, demanding your best, not settling for average, questioning assumptions, speaking up, going to the event, approaching the speaker, emailing the dream client, raising your standard, breaking the rules. Or you could just, sit at home and watch Netflix and be safe. It's really up to you. Are you living a biography-worthy life? If not, why not? And what are you going to do about it? Just a thought. Okay, let's do our freaking thing. Yesterday on the show, we introduced something new. And what I introduced was, hey, if we're going to look at each other every morning, we could at least get one little piece of business out of it. We could take a moment and we could say to ourselves, okay, what's that thing I got to get done that I've been putting off? That thing that I don't feel like doing. And maybe if I put it out here with my friends in the comments, maybe we could commit to getting something done. So how did you do yesterday? Did you get something done that you committed to? Like the thing you committed to yesterday on the show, did you get it done? I committed to cleaning out the house of horrors that was my email box. It was bad. I had a ton of unread email, stuff I was going to get back to. It was not good, but I got through all of it. Except my invoices I have to pay. Oops, I'll have to get to that later. Oops. So what did you commit to yesterday during the show? Yesterday at this time, you committed to something. I saw you do it. Did you get it done? And now we get to play the game again because we get to set the intentions for our life. Did the Barbra story not inspire you? What is something that must be done today? We all got something. What do you need to get done today? Write it down. Write it down. Write it down right now. I'm going to wait here. In fact, I'm going to sip my coffee while you write it down. Write it down. Go write it down. That is terrible. Write it down. Okay, good. That is the thing you're committed to. Get it done today. And then maybe later today at the networking event, if we see one another, we can high five and we can talk about it. Something that's going to make you money, something that's going to move the business forward. Let's commit to it, shall we? All right, I got more inspiration. I am just chock full of inspiration. I'm like an inspiration dealer today. Hey, can I interest you in some inspiration? Today's inspirational meme of the day, because sometimes the meme of the days are like memes of the day are snarky, funny. Not today's. Today's is inspirational. And today's meme of the day is what good Twittering looks like. Erica Schneider wrote a tweet that was the first thing I saw this morning, and I thought, oh my, I gotta talk about this. This is epic. So I'll share the tweet and we'll talk about it, and then I'll invite you to subscribe to her newsletter. And before we even go here, hashtag not an ad, hashtag Erica doesn't know me, hashtag I'm just a fan of this tweet and I thought you should see it. Okay, so don't get all weird like she told me to do this or I'm getting paid, nothing like that. This is just good stuff and you need to know about it. All right, this is what good Twittering looks like. I got to read it off the screen over here because it's too small on that screen. Yesterday, I threw the term personal brand in the garbage. Be your own head of marketing at Me Incorporated doesn't vibe in 2023. That's some 1997 language. Doesn't that feel true? That's a really good observation. The landscape has changed and we've changed. The future is showing up as you, not a brand of you. You can be professional while being completely yourself. You can meet professionals while being completely yourself. You get to define what showing up online means, not outdated terminology that puts you in a box. Oh, dagger. It's me. Hi. I'm the platform. It's me. Isn't that good stuff? That is absolutely true, because we've run into people, and there are people out there that want to define your personal brand, and consistency is a beautiful thing. But her point, at least as I can tell, are you consistently yourself? Or are you consistently what you project to others, which may or may not be in alignment with who you are? So I got really interested in Erica, and I'm like, okay, well, I need to know more about this person. And I found another graphic on her Twitter feed, which I thought was just spectacular. So this is the difference as she sees it between creating a personal platform or a personal brand. The personal platform is an extension of yourself, not a separate entity. It's your story on your terms, not a manufactured story. About your opinion of yourself, not about people's opinion of you. And it's an honest representation of the real you, not a carefully constructed presentation. Wow. Like the cartoons where the eyeballs go boing, 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 boing. That's like what I read that, and it just completely connected with my life. And it's kind of what we're doing here on this show. Forever, I made content on the radio concerned about what they wanted to hear, what the audience wanted to hear. And it ended up having me create content for someone that didn't exist, and it didn't really speak to who I am. And I've had people tell me after watching this little show that we're experimenting with, they've learned more about me in the last 3 weeks than the entire time that we've known one another, because I'm not putting the filter, the personal brand box on top of what we're doing here. We're just having a conversation like we would every morning if you were sitting in my office. That is the difference of being yourself and not living up to some personal brand that you think needs to be put out there into the universe. Now, am I crazy? Is this not awesome? That really makes sense, doesn't it? And is there a part of your head that's like, ooh, yeah, I might want to think about that. Isn't that good? So as you think about starting out today and you think about moving forward, I want you to ask yourself, are you living up to someone's image of yourself rather than who you actually are? Because when you show up authentically and when you show up as yourself, you cut right through and people get a chance to know you. If you like this content, I'm going to share her newsletter. So she writes a newsletter with Casey Jones, and it's called Power Your Platform. And again, I don't know Erica. She didn't give me anything to talk about this. This is not some sort of ad. I just thought this was an amazing tweet and something you needed to see. So if you want to check out her newsletter, I'm pretty sure it's a free newsletter. You can scan the QR code. You can get your hands on it, and you can learn more about what she's doing, because I thought that was just really, really great stuff. So Erica, thank you for the inspiration this morning, and hopefully that inspired you as well. Okay, enough inspiration for now. Let's do our question of the day. By the way, you're there, right? This thing is on. Hello? I know that you're watching the show, but the chat's a little bit quiet this morning. If you're there, say hello, give us a like, share the show with a friend of yours, so that way more people can become a part of Small Business Mornings here on the air. Okay, question of the day. And this one's kind of fun. I think it's kind of fun. Question of the day. What is something that you think people are just pretending to enjoy? There's just no way that people like whatever that thing is as much as they claim to like whatever that thing is. Isn't that a snarky question? See, we didn't do the depressing news. We did a whole bunch of inspirational news, and now we're back to being snarky. You're welcome. So yes, good morning, Patty. So what is something that you think people are just pretending to enjoy? Something they're really passionate about. Oftentimes it defines their personality, and there's no way that they actually like it that much. Oh yeah, Patty's got a good one here. Oysters. There's no way people like those slimy little things as much as they claim to. And not only are they slimy and disgusting, they're impossible to get out of their shells. There's a reason why shucking rhymes with. I'm just saying, there's a reason why that rhymes. Good one, Patty. Thank you for sharing. So what is something that you can think of that you think people are just pretending to enjoy? It's a big put on. When this question is asked, it's oftentimes answered by coffee. I mean, the people that don't like coffee can't understand why other people like coffee. And I don't know how those people live, but okay, you have your opinion. Tea is another one that often comes up. And personal tastes are really a part of the answer to this question. So usually someone will say country music. How can someone like country music, or rap music, or jazz music, or pop music, whatever it is? Those are all great answers. And see, this is why we have this conversation, because from the top rope, here comes Barbara. What do you mean? Oysters are amazing. Oh, this is so great. Thank you. Paul, yes. Pork hocks. I don't even know what a pork hock is, but it sounds like something I don't want. It sounds like something you're diagnosed with. Oh, I'm sorry, Pat, you have pork hocks. What does that mean, doctor? Susie sharing coffee. Yes. You're not a coffee person, are you, Susie? Mm-mm. No, see, these are good things. So outside of music, camping was one that someone mentioned. That like it's a big put on. That who would possibly want to leave Wi-Fi and bathrooms and a bed and go lay outside where all the spiders are? Like, why would you choose to do that? Okay, thank you for that, Paul. It's an ankle bone. That sounds awful. When all of the rest of the pig is delicious, why would I eat its ankle bone? That seems oddly selective to me. It must be a delicacy? Question mark, Paul? Must be. Yeah. So, man, Barbara doesn't like coffee either. Okay. Another one, and this one's for Patty. Getting up early and going to the gym is something that people pretend to like. There's no way people actually enjoy doing that as much as they want you to believe that they enjoy doing that. There's no way that that's as popular. Oh, Susie, we used to be friends. Golfing. Although I can see it if you're a non-golfer, it looks pretty ridiculous, right? Spend a fortune, go into a field, smack a ball, lose the ball, get mad about losing a ball in a field. I can see why you would think that golfing is something that people don't enjoy, for sure. That one's funny. I pretended to like my former husband for a while. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. And Paul says it's not a delicacy. My poor grandparents ate the whole damn pig. Okay. All right. I love me some pig, so maybe it's good, Paul. I've never had it. For sure. And here comes Barbara defending camping. You can breathe, you can think, you can de-stress, and spiders are cool. Now hold on a second. Hold on. Spiders might be necessary, but cool? And if Abby, my wife, who's upstairs, heard this conversation right now, she'd be burning the house down just because we said the S word. I don't know if cool is something that spiders are into. My dog is listening to your voice, Pat. Seems like she likes it. Hello, Paul's dog. How you doing? I guess dogs are into my voice. The last thing from the question of the day, and this is the big finish because I thought this was really funny. I saw this thread someplace, so I'm totally stealing it from someone because I thought it was a great question. What is something that you're convinced people are just pretending to enjoy? They said sparkling water. Why? Because it tastes like Sprite if it lied about its personality. I mean, isn't that amazing? It tastes like Sprite if it lied about its personality. That is amazing. Yes. And Susie, spiders or mosquitoes? Which would you pick? Or ticks? Are you saying that spiders eat mosquitoes and ticks? Okay, fine. Okay, they're functional. I'll give you spiders are functional. But they're scary and they're creepy. And they bite you and they crawl on you when you're sleeping and you don't even know. I'm not even going there. Okay. So that's what we've got for our question of the day. Let's do some announcements because I'm leaving the cave today. I'm going out and putting on real pants. We're doing some networking today, baby. Yeah. We're going downtown Milwaukee where all the kind of big buildings are. And we're getting together 3 different networks so we can all look at each other and meet one another. Today, 5 to 7. And Susie, we're not sold out yet, I don't think. Are we? We have up to 75 slots available, and we were getting close. We're partnering with Meg Schmidt, the franchise fashionista, my buddy AFW Andy Wines, the co-founder of Young Guns, Dave McCurg, who's our host from Petrie and Pettit. It's going to be a fun networking event, and here's the agenda. Show up. Oh, and then after that, the rest of the agenda is have a beer. And after that, we'll shoot the breeze and get to know each other. Full agenda. So if you want to join us, you got to scan the QR code and register so that we know that you're coming. But that is later on today. It's going to be just a ton of fun. So here's what's going on with the show, by the way. And we have 25 to 30 left. Thank you, Susie, for sharing that. I'm going to leave the QR code up here in case you want to join the thing. The show is starting to get a little bit of momentum. We're doing this daily show to see if bringing small business owners together is a good idea. And I think it is, because the Don't Grow It Alone mission is all about walking with one another so we can get revved up to go business together. And we'll talk about inspirational stuff. We'll have a laugh. We'll drink some bad coffee. We'll get our days started. So then you can click off the show and go conquer the world. That's what we're doing. So now we've got ourselves set up on YouTube podcasts, which is super exciting. We made a new page on our LinkedIn page for Small Business Mornings. And the word is slowly starting to trickle. It's like trickling. Like you've been in a cave where like water is just like just trickling down the wall. It's kind of where we're at right now. Now, I want it to be like a gushing waterfall. Right now we got a trickle. And I loved my trickle. It's a great trickle. So thank you for being a part of the show. And if you're not subscribed to the show, I encourage you to do so because we make a podcast version of this show every day. So when the show is over, I turn it into a podcast. So when Paul hops on his mountain bike, he can listen to the show whenever he feels like it, or you can listen to it while you're doing whatever it is you do when you're not sitting in front of your screens. So subscribe to the show, and that way you can stay a part of our conversation as we go forward. And the other thing is, if you like this vibe, you know this is what we do inside the Idea Collective small business community. So it's not just a show. It's not just an event. We have a community full of folks that like to get together and support one another through creative brainstorming meetings, exchanging information, copywriting sales and AI clubs, an annual event. The Idea Collective is the backbone of this entire mission, Don't Grow It Alone. So if you're walking your small business journey and you saw this show and you thought, oh my gosh, these are my people. People in the comments making jokes, what I was saying made sense to you. The Idea Collective might be for you. It's $57 a month. Come on. Click the link, try it out, and if you hate it, you can call and yell at me. I haven't had that happen yet, but that's what the Idea Collective is there for, to help small business owners build their small business dreams. Okay, today was inspirational. Today was fun. And we were inspired by Barbara Streisand to go out and do great things. I hope you take that inspiration and do something that matters. That's going to do it for Small Business Mornings today. We will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. for the Big Finish Friday. We're going to go through all of the wins of the week. So don't show up empty-handed. Go do something amazing and show up here at 9 a.m. tomorrow for Small Business Mornings. I'm Pat Miller, the Idea Coach. Thanks for tuning in.